What's up guys, LeopoldTheBrave here, and it's time to discuss some Kung Fu Panda 5 and 6. If you're new to my channel, a few years ago I made a video predicting the plot of Kung Fu Panda 4 years before that sequel was even announced, and the only thing I got right was Po looking for a successor. I didn't even get the way he went about looking for a successor correctly. I figured he was going to be overexcited about it, trying way too hard to follow in the steps of Oogway and find his own successor a bit too quickly. And my Dragon Warrior successor was like some dumb pampered prince type guy who lashes out sometimes because he has no freedom or control in his life because it's determined and made for him. And then in the video I had the audacity to go, "Hey DreamWorks, if you want to use this idea, you should totally do it. I wouldn't fuss about you copying my idea." But despite that train wreck, I'm here doing it again because I love these movies and I love looking for the possibilities even when they're stupid. So let's fill out the rest of this new trilogy and start by predicting what's gonna happen in Kung Fu Panda 5. Alright, so Kung Fu Panda 5. And this is going to immediately throw people off and make them question what I'm doing with this video. But I've had multiple dreams where in a Kung Fu Panda sequel, something bad happens to Master Shifu. And by something bad, I mean a one-way ticket to the spirit realm. Let's say a villain of the movie does this because they were jealous of Shifu's position. He was an Oogway fanatic, and long ago he wanted to be by Oogway's side the way Shifu is. But he went a bit too far on his own kung fu missions trying to impress Oogway, stopping threats for good. Now Oogway himself is no pacifist, he's banished others to the spirit realm before, like Kai. But the people that this new villain was quote-unquote banishing were not like Kai at all. Oogway sees this villain is going way too far and banishes him. But centuries later, when the chameleon opens the door to the spirit realm to steal the kung fu from other masters, there's one who secretly and silently slips away and doesn't return when Po closes the door. And this villain returns to the mortal realm to find that Oogway had a best friend in Shifu, and that Oogway had also had a successor, and that his successor now had a successor of his own. And the villain will take this as an opportunity to impress Oogway, who's not even there anymore, by taking out everyone Oogway chose over him. Now, when Po sees what this new villain has done to Shifu, he's going to be angry, blindingly angry, and make some stupid decisions. But don't worry, I'm not hinting towards a dark Po arc or villain arc. I don't think those could ever work for Po. But I can see him developing a one-track mind out of anger. In order to find this new villain, he leaves the Valley of Peace, and more importantly, leaves his student Zhen undertrained. I mean, yeah, Zhen would have the Furious Five with her to watch over her and train with her, but Po's the only one who can really turn her into her with his newfound wisdom. Once Po finally tracks down this villain, he realizes he's been lured into a trap. The villain knew exactly what would happen and was basically just waiting for Po to get there. Through trickery, manipulation, and his rotten schemes, this new villain is able to barely defeat Po. But Po is more resilient than the new villain expected. The villain leaves and goes to prepare a final attack on Zhen. And while Po is laying there unconscious, he has a vision of Shifu in the spirit realm. He walks up to Shifu and expresses to him how sorry he is for letting that happen. But Po is surprised to find that Shifu is completely at peace, totally calm, and super fine about it. Po has nothing to apologize for. I mean, how could he have known that Shifu was going to be attacked? Po offers to bring Shifu back with his mastery of Chi and ability to open the door to the spirit and mortal realms. But to Po's surprise, Shifu declines. As it turns out, Shifu had found Tai Lung in the spirit realm, and the two had reconciled and made peace with their past situation. Shifu has accepted that it was just his time to go, and Po needs to accept that too and move on. So, Po comes to, investigates the villain's hideout, and discovers their plans to take out Zhen. He's rushing as fast as he can, but of course the villain had a huge head start on him. Luckily the Furious Five are there to help Zhen out, but unfortunately all five of them plus her just can't stack up to this new threat. They are, however, at least able to hold him off long enough until Po arrives to clean up his mess and take on this new villain one-on-one. Po, of course, tries to defuse the situation at first, telling this villain that this is not what Oogway would have wanted, and that he's sorry things didn't go his way, but he needs to move on. This, of course, doesn't work though, as the villain is blinded by rage over the fact that his plan didn't work, and now he feels like he disappointed Oogway instead of impressed him. In their final showdown, Po comes out victorious, which ensures the safety of his successor, as he learns that it's okay that not everything can go according to his plans. For Kung Fu Panda 6, I'm not really going to be able to provide a super detailed story like I did for Kung Fu Panda 5, considering Kung Fu Panda 5 isn't even out yet, and basing my prediction off my prediction for something else would be super silly. So at the most I'll just give little plot points for what I think should happen at some point in this new trilogy. First things first is that it should always be about Po. The films are called Kung Fu Panda. Zhen should not take over just cause she's the new Dragon Warrior. Remember what Shifu said in Kung Fu Panda 4. Who Po is will always be a part of what he will become. He may not be the Dragon Warrior anymore, but he'll always be the Kung Fu Panda. Next, a villain with higher stakes. Tai Lung was a threat to a village, Shen was a threat to an entire city and possibly all of China, and Kai was a threat to all of China and possibly the world. But in Kung Fu Panda 4 with the chameleon, we went back down to just a citywide threat. And I'll even admit the villain I just came up with for Kung Fu Panda 5 wasn't all too threatening either. Just very compact personal motivations. We need a villain unlike anything Po has ever seen before, especially for the big finale of this new trilogy. Possibly someone that threatens the existence of the mortal and spirit realms altogether. And perhaps it could possibly escalate and evolve into some crazy cosmic celestial kung fu battle, where Po not only succeeds Oogway, but even surpasses him. Next up, avoid romance at all costs. That's one thing this franchise does not need. I know there's a little crowd out there for Po and Tigress, but Po hasn't at all shown any interest in that way towards Tigress. He just admires her kung fu and friendship. Not every guy and girl best friend in a series needs to turn into a relationship, it can just stay platonic. Plus, what about Mei Mei in Kung Fu Panda 3? Po shrugged her off like she was nothing. Let Po be an ace icon or something. He doesn't need a partner. But let me know what you guys think. Was my idea for Kung Fu Panda 5 any good? And what do you think of the plot points for Kung Fu Panda 6, the things they need to stick to? Or do you have any ideas of your own of where this franchise should go? Let me know in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys next time. Leopold the Brave, out.